And we welcome you to Washington High School as we proudly present high school boys basketball, the Section 4-3A Semifinals. Semifinals, of course, that means 2 games coming your way, and we've got a rematch from a year ago with the Mahtomedi Zephyrs and Totino-Grace Eagles. Mahtomedi, the 2 seed this year in Section 4. Totino-Grace, the 3 seed. These 2 teams had a thrilling duel a year ago. Totino-Grace hit a boatload of threes in the first half. Mahtomedi bounced back in the second, got the win, ended up losing to Columbia Heights in the section championship. Things have changed considerably for the Zephyrs, having to make over their entire team. They lost a lot of talent to graduation a year ago.
For the Eagles, 6'5", senior forward, number 24, Will.
As the starters get introduced.
For the Zephyrs, 6'3", senior forward, number 24, Carbogalero. And for the Eagles, 6'2", senior guard, number 42, Charlie Jacob. And for the Zephyrs, 6'3", junior forward, number 35, Devin Meltzer. And your coaching staff, for Totino-Grace, the assistant is Steven Olson. Head coach is Nick Carroll. For Mahtomedi, the assistant coaches are George Pelkey, Jill Pelkey. Brad Reynolds, head coach for the Zephyrs is Keith Newman. And your official.
Mahtomedi dispatched Como Park without much difficulty in the quarterfinals. And they rely on execution and balance. They're not as deep as a year ago because of all the talent they lost to graduation. Javon Hadley, a wing scorer, Lero, a lefty who can hit some open shots, and Jack Shea will be the team's interior presence. For Totino-Grace, as the starters make their way to the floor, Charlie Jacob, a powerful scorer, also a great ball handler and wing player. Will Schmidt will be the X factor. And we are underway with Mahtomedi wearing the navy, Totino-Grace wearing the white. Totino-Grace would love to avenge last year's collapse and make their way to the section final. Columbia Heights is the favorite, but Mahtomedi, even if they don't have the power they did a year ago with the likes of Lincoln Rock and Parker Fox, as we have a foul going against Tyler Kittleson, they're a well-coached team. They were around the top 10 most of the year in Class 3A, despite the makeover. And here's Devin Meltzer to the line. Gets the front end to fall. These 2 did not play against each other in the regular season. Meltzer has to settle for a split there. But I can tell you that for the Zephyrs, they have a pretty strong starting 5. They all average double digits in scoring, or I should say most of them do. And Zach Centers, number 10, provides some offense off the bench with 12.2. So they've got a lot of guys who can score. Timmy Lindquist can't hit the 16-footer. And the rebound to Totino-Grace. This is Charlie Jacob. Jacob out to Krieger. Baseline drive, hesitation move. Flotmeyer's trapped, finds an outlet. Shovel pass, going up. More of a skip pass, I should say. Krieger short on the layup. Rebound, Lero. Javon Hadley. Baseline, no good. gets his own rebound. Almost got his own miss there, but Jacob collects the board. He'll step into a three, and that's long. Rebound Hadley. Kick out. Lero fakes the three. Pulls up from 15. That rims out. Krieger with the rebound. Three ball. Corner pocket. Will Schmidt. Will Schmidt averaging 15.3. As we noted, the X Factor, a deadly three-point shooter. High-low, and that pays off for Jack Shea. Mahtomedi. Well, all hopes are on the boys' team. Actually, it's been a successful winter for the most part. The girls came up short again in the section final, losing to De La Salle, and what was likely their last best chance in a long time to make their way to state. The Mahtomedi boys team reached the semifinals in the Class A state tournament. 4-0 won the championship this year. Congrats to the Spartans. A lot of athletic talent here at Mahtomedi. Backdoor play, back shoulder throw to Jack Shea results in a three-point play chance. Jack Shea averaging 13.5. And 6.8 rebounds. He completes the three-point play. Mahtomedi is up 6-3. Jacob. Finds Schmidt. Back to Jacob. Through the hole and in. That was Tyler Kittleson, I should say, not Jacob. My apologies for that. But the result is the same. Kittleson gets the layup at 6-5. And we'll see if three-point shooting becomes an influence like it did a year ago. Again, Totino-Grace hit a bunch. Mahtomedi had to come back from about 15 down. What a game that was. Intercepting the pass is Lindquist. And a foul is called.
Foul on the Eagles. Number 12, Nick Flatmeyer. First personal. Team third. Zach Setters checking in from Mahtomedi.
Flatmeyer hit with the foul, his first, and here is Zach Centers, the bastion of scoring off the bench for the Zephyrs this year. Flatmeyer with the steal. Kick out. Eagles swinging it around. Drive is blocked.
Checking in for the Eagles.
And with 13:45 left in the first half, it's 6-5. Zephyrs over Eagles, as you know. The winner goes on, loser goes home. Cole Chapman checking in. Totino-Grace also going to the bench as well. That's Braden Mischke, number 15. Three is short, and the rebound to Chapman. Lindquist, coast to coast. Foul away from the ball, and will go against Mahtomedi.
Zephyrs, number 10, Zach Centers. First personal, team seconds.
Foul tag to Centers.
Jesse Namunde checking in.
And the subs continue. Jesse Namunde, number 20, in for Totino-Grace. Jacob. Out to Namunde. Mishki out to Namunde. Top of the key. 3 is short. And the rebound is tipped to centers. Totino-Grace located in Fridley. Mahtomedi in Mahtomedi. Cole Chapman with the baseline jumper. Mahtomedi has a strong video production program. They host their own high school sports webcasts, and they have their own YouTube channel where you can check them out. Great way to get folks involved and train the next generation of people who will take my job. Will Schmidt with a take to the rim. Drive to the rim is no good from Hadley. It will stay with Mahtomedi. Lero with the inbound. Shea gets his own miss and gets the putback bucket. So Jack Shea showing off his inside presence. Totino unable to get through the perimeter, and they almost cough it up, but they do retrieve it. They end up losing it anyway. Centers. Finds Shea, and Shea is up to 9 points. He is currently outscoring Totino-Grace, but it's 14-7, a long way to go. And if last year's semifinal is any indication, Totino-Grace can work their way back in quickly. Illegal screen called on Totino-Grace with 11:02 left. It will go against Namunde. That's the 4th team foul on the Eagles. Totino-Grace, their record may not show it, but they had a pretty solid year, and that's why they got the 3 seed. Against a team like Johnson, who got the 5 despite their record. Johnson demolished by Fridley in the quarterfinals, so the section coaches may have been cognizant about Johnson's strength. Totino-Grace playing a lot of high-caliber 4A teams. But this is a team Mahtomedi matches up well against. The Zephyrs not as deep, and they don't have the scoring punch of a year ago. The Eagles, as they fire a 3, that goes in and out from Charlie Berger. Rebound, Nick Flottmeyer with the second chance points. So Totino, not a lot of scoring. And a couple of youngsters off the bench. Mahtomedi matches up well with them as Jack Shea drains the floater because they don't have the depth or athleticism of a year ago. But Jack Shea is proving otherwise. 16-9. And that's going to be a foul on the Zephyrs going after the rebound. That will send Tyler Kittleson to the line. Kittleson averaged 7.9 points in the regular season. Kittleson makes both. The skip pass. Cole Chapman eventually works his way in. Usually the dribble move like that, when you've got the arms up, and Cole Chapman with plenty of height, that's not a good idea, but it did pay off for Chapman. He's 6'10", so he's going to win a lot of battles down low, just a sophomore. He's a name we'll probably hear more of over the next few years. 3 ball. And that rattles out for Tyler Kittleson. You see the Eagles looking to use their 3-point game. Mahtomedi preferring to attack the inside, and Jack Shea all over the interior. Berger with the foul. Jack Shea up to 13 points. Shea 2 for 2 from the line. Putting up quite a performance so far. 21-11 our score. And Shea continuing to outscore the Eagles. Of course, it won't stay that way. Chapman grabs the miss. Lero, he'll take it. What a move! Behind the back layup. And Michael Zamacona, the public address announcer, punctuating the enthusiasm of that play. Zephyrs up by 12. 3 ball. They still can't knock them down. Braden Mischke missing. Eagles with just 1 3-pointer. And as we've seen so many times in the section playoffs, boys and girls, for strong 3-point shooting teams, if you run into a funk, you could be in a heap of trouble. Hadley out to Lero. He's going to take it. In and out. Hadley with the rebound. He had 4 white jerseys around him. It will stay with Mahtomedi. Hadley may have went up in hopes of drawing a foul. Didn't work out, but the Zephyrs will keep it. They've controlled this one thanks to that inside presence of Jack Shea. Hadley, spin move, fakes the pass, and Totino-Grace will get the rebound this time. Going full court. Will Schmidt. You see Melzer out on him. Zephyrs aware of Schmidt's 3-point range. Flottmeyer will fire. Another miss. Rebound goes to Kittleson. Krieger will reset for the Eagles. Charlie Jacob baits Hadley on the pump fake, and he'll shoot 2. Charlie Jacob, one of the double-digit scores in the regular season, 17.3 to be precise, and that gets him on the board. Jacob knocks both down. That gets him on the board. Totino-Grace figures to get him involved, if they want to hang around with Mahtomedi. Jacob has yet to get a field goal. And when you look at the box scores, the stat lines, all of that, trends and disparities can be crucial. We saw that a couple days ago. Nice take. The entry feed for Melzer was no good. Jack Shea cleans it up. Jack Shea with 16. Timeout, Totino-Grace. Nick Carroll's going to talk it over. 25-13. Jack Shea averaging just 13.5 this year, but here's an example of their balance. Lero, 10.2. Lindquist, 11.8. Hadley, 15.7. Zach Sanders, 12.2. So Mahtomedi may not be the run-and-gun team they used to be, but they've got a lot of guys who can put up points, and that is always crucial, especially in the bigger classes. Jack Shea also a presence down low with 6.8 rebounds. Hadley and Lindquist are the facilitators based on the regular season numbers. Pretty good Mahtomedi crowd, although I can't tell how big it is. Everyone's kind of hanging up near the concourse, it seems. No student bands tonight. You generally don't get those in the semis because of the nature of them. Jacob. He needs to get going if Totino-Grace wants to put up a fight. Euro step, kick out, Flottmeyer. Well, Flottmeyer, the unsung hero, but nothing doing so far. Shea with the hesitation to Melzer. Should say Melzer with the hesitation move off the pass from Shea. And it results in Melzer going to the line for two. Melzer averaging 7.2 a game this season for the Zephyrs. Melzer makes both. All of his points have come from the line. He's 3 of 4. Strong interior defense by the Zephyrs inside. Lero got in there for the block on Will Schmidt. And he wants to go all the way. Banks it off the glass. The Zephyrs now lead by 16. Which also happens to be Jack Shea's point total. 5 minutes to go. Our first tie-up, Totino with the arrow.
Totino-Grace. Ray Mishke back at the Eagles.
Eagles swing it around. Schmidt to Krieger. Finally, a three goes down. And the officials stop play because the net got caught up on the rim. So a side out for the Zephyrs. One of those protocol matters. Officials have to call it. Shea, fade away. Yes. Shea up to 18. Here's Krieger. This time he attacks the rim and scores. So Krieger with a quick 5. And Krieger averaging 7.3 on the season. Jack Shea, he's been all over the rim, draws the foul on Flottmeyer, and he'll shoot a pair. Flottmeyer with his second personal foul, and Jack Shea, who has a couple of free throws already, can add to his total. Jack Shea, 6'5" senior forward. Would love to reach the state tournament. Again, Mahtomedi came oh so close. They held the lead briefly with Columbia Heights, but couldn't hang on to it. Shea has to settle for a split, although that's not going to put a damper on his first half. He's still outscoring the Eagles, 19-18. And that's going to be a foul on Shea. He made contact with Jacob on the three. Official says you hit him on the arm. So 3 free throws coming for Totino-Grace's leading scorer. Jacob has yet to make a field goal, but sometimes you need a while to get going. And as we've seen, the second half adjustments are an important part of this game. Jacob made both free throws his first time up.
Zephyrs. Back in for the Zephyrs.
Jacob, a perfect 5 of 5. Those are all the points he has. But sometimes when you're off to a slow start, that's what you need to get going. Centers fakes the three, misses everything. So the Eagles have a chance to claw their way back. They trail by as much as 16, and Jacob draws the foul again. This time, Jacob attacked. And Jack Shea, just like that, picks up 2 quick ones. So that might put his first half to an end. So Charlie Jacob shooting 2 more. And Shea will go to the bench. Devin Melzer will come in. A chance for the Eagles as Mahtomedi will have to operate without their central figure on offense. Charlie Jacob, now 7 of 7 from the free throw line. No field goals yet, but free throws, if my buddy Latoya were here, would say are just as crucial. Those are free points. Centers missed the three-pointer. The rebound eventually goes to Mishki. He sees a lane. He'll go for it all and come up short. Mahtomedi looking to run. Foul on Jacob. And free throws coming. Jesse Namunde took a tumble at the end of the play. And he's being examined by the athletic trainer with 2:51 left. Trying to get him up, and they're unable to do so. Now they are. They'll go to the bench for now. Riley Berger will take over. In the meantime, Timmy Lindquist. 1-1. It was not a shooting foul. The foul on Jacob is his first. Lindquist makes both. Mahtomedi now 8 of 10 from the line. Totino-Grace straddling the baseline there. Krieger goes up on Lindquist, no good. Gets his own rebound and draws the foul. Krieger stayed with it, got a couple of O-boards. And he'll shoot 2 here. Lero tagged with his first personal. And Krieger gets the front end to fall. And the back end. So Totino-Grace 11 of 11 And that's helping them hang around. What was a 16-point deficit is down to 9, and Mahtomedi throws it away. As you know, basketball, a game of runs. If you can withstand the first colloquial punch from your opponent, there's a good chance you'll find a rally of your own. Totino-Grace on the verge of one here. Jacob looking for an opening, doesn't find it. Krieger fakes the three. Looking off a couple of flare screens there. Now Krieger curls all the way around. Melzer stayed with him. Lindquist in transition. Goodbye. Lindquist speeding his way to the rim at 88 miles an hour. Krieger goes up again. High off the window and in. You see Totino-Grace favored the three-pointers early on. Now they're looking to use that three-point fake to open up space in the lane, and Totino-Grace finding success down there. Good series of passes, and that will result in free throws for Javon Hadley, who has yet to score. Hadley, one of the double-digit scores for the Zephyrs in the regular season, 15.7. Of course, at this level, all your points, rebounds, and other stats do count in the overall season totals. Hadley makes both. Latoya would love to see the free throw shooting. These two teams, nothing but accurate. Mahtomedi 10 of 12, solid number. Totino-Grace 11 of 11. I don't know if they'll stay 100%, but you have to like all the points they're converting at the line. Zephyrs do lead by 11. Here's Mischke. Ball bounces over. Jacob will reset. 45 seconds. Just inside the line. Swish. And with that, Charlie Jacob gets his first field goal. He's up to 9 to join Krieger. And I believe Mahtomedi will hold for the final shot. They've been trading baskets with the Zephyrs over the last few possessions. Lero for three. Won't wait, but the ball bounces over to Zach Centers, and Mahtomedi will call a timeout. Keith Newman, the longtime head coach for the Zephyrs. Might as well get your Zephyrs out of a jam. You have 16 and a half left and plenty of timeouts to use. In the second half. So Totino-Grace, you have to feel confident knowing that you're able to get the 16-point margin down to single digits. If you're Mahtomedi, you also have to be feeling pretty good at this stage as well. After Jack Shea picked up 2 quick fouls and had to take a seat, he has 19 points. Mahtomedi hasn't suffered without him. Of course, the second half adjustments are going to be key in this one. In particular, how Totino-Grace can deny Jack Shea on the inside, and if the Eagles will continue to attack the lane or try the three-pointers again. Mahtomedi will hold for the final shot. Lero, backdoor to Centers, gets the roll. And we're gonna have free throws. Mahtomedi staying attentive. That foul was before the buzzer. And Timmy Lindquist with a heads-up defensive play will have a chance to add to Mahtomedi's lead. So 0.3 on the clock, but it's academic at this stage. Timmy Lindquist who has 6 points, can add to it here. Lindquist knocks them both down. Mahtomedi 12 of 14 from the line. Dominant first half. They lead 42-29. An impressive performance from Jack Shea with 19 and Timmy Lindquist chipping in a few points after Shea went to the bench in foul trouble. We'll take a break and come back for the second half, but before we do, we'll bring you some highlights of last year's 4AAA semifinal between these two. It was a thriller. Check out the highlights, and we'll be back for the second half. This is high school boys basketball, the 4AAA section semifinal. But again, Totino-Grace has to be careful. They throw it away. Lincoln Rock with an easy two. And as we noted, Parker Fox in need of support. He's been getting it in this Mahtomedi run. Goes up, got the roll! 2-point game. Bruiser kicks out. Deep three. Kovalik fires a deep three. Off the mark. It's a final. Comes back from 14 down for 69-65 win. Mike beat it all by myself, talking to myself. Second half of our first semifinal here at Washington High School, the Section 4-3A playoffs. Mahtomedi the 2 seed, Totino-Grace the 3 seed. Charlie Jacob 9 points, Eric Krieger 9 points to lead the Eagles. Charlie Jacobs 7 of 7 from the line. As a whole, Totino-Grace 11 of 11, but Mahtomedi just as sharp, 12 of 14. That's a pretty good percentage, 6 of 7. Mid-80s, you'll take any day. Jack Shea with 19 points. He was all over the interior. Totino-Grace did not have an answer for him until he picked up 2 quick ones. And then Mahtomedi got 4 points just before halftime, thanks to an attentive defense. Timmy Lindquist stealing the inbound pass. And Mahtomedi looking to avoid the scare from a year ago, where they were able to get a come-from-behind win over Totino-Grace, but it was not easy. And I'll say this, compared to a year ago, I much prefer this vantage point instead of having to tape all my notes to the concourse rafters. And Jack Shea wasting no time reestablishing his presence. Another drive to the rim. He is all over Totino-Grace. Totino-Grace tried the skip pass. Mahtomedi deflects it. Krieger goes up, can't get the bounce. Will Schmidt is there for the recovery. If Totino-Grace has any chance of making their way back, and we still have a long way to go, but when you trail by 13, they may need to knock down some threes. They had some trouble doing so with just 2 in the first half. Hadley with a spin move up on Krieger, and he gets the floater. That's the first field goal for Hadley. Mahtomedi, again, not a deep team, but all 7 players who have seen floor time have scored. Kittleson with the answer as he sinks a right-handed floater of his own. No bench points at all for the Eagles, although that's just one of many metrics that has Mahtomedi up by 13. Lindquist can't get the bounce, and the rebound by Floatmeyer. Jacob, I'm curious to see how he does in the second half. He drains the runner. That's an encouraging start. He had just 1 field goal, 7 of 7 in free throws, but I get the sense he'll need to be more active to get Totino-Grace back in this. Lero, 3-ball, corner pocket. And the net gets stuck again, so a brief stoppage. Lero goes up to 7. Jacob draws the foul. That will go against Hadley. And they call it a shooting foul, so Charlie Jacob to the line. But the Eagles are trailing by 2 touchdowns. That's the second personal on Javon Hadley. Charlie Jacob, the 6'2 senior. One of the leaders who came back from last year's team. And he still has yet to miss. He has 13 points. Totino-Grace, 13 of 13. Charlie Jacob, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. And with all the games I've covered this year where free throws were anything but automatic, it's refreshing to see. Eric Krieger gets called for the blocking foul as he collided with Lero. That's the second on Krieger. Washington High School, the host site for several section championships, 4-3A and 4-2A. Hadley with the spin move en route to the rim. They hosted 4-3A for the girls. Jacob is fouled again, and he'll shoot more free throws. This facility, you may recall, it was once known as Arlington High School before they closed. Washington took over, and they still use this gym. This place sees a lot of action in playoff time. Normally they host the 4-3A girls bracket. That distinction went to Eastridge this year, where De La Salle won their second straight section title to go back to state. Washington still busy as ever with the 4-2A and 4-3A semifinals and championship. Charlie Jacob piling up points at the charity stripe, 11 of 11. Problem is, this team's still down by 12, a traveling violation on Lero. If Totino-Grace can't get the 3-point stroke going, it could be difficult to see them come back from 12 down. They've gotten within 9, and that's as close as they've been recently. Well, that'll help. A strong move to the rim by Floatmeyer. Totino-Grace doing their best to hang around. Lero fakes the three. And that's going to be a jump. Totino-Grace with the arrow, and Lero probably lucky that it was a jump. If Totino-Grace doesn't make contact, Lero would have been called for traveling. He already had used up the dribble, tried the drive, and ended up in no man's land. Jacob off the screen, guarded by Shea. Floatmeyer can't get the drive, gets his own rebound. Count it! Persistence pays off for Will Schmidt. And the Eagles can cut this deficit to 7 with the free throw. Will Schmidt has not been to the line yet. He averages 15.3. And that will be the second personal on Lindquist. Lero and Melzer going out. Centers and Chapman going in for the Zephyrs. Schmidt gets a friendly bounce to maintain Totino-Grace's perfect mark at the line, 16 of 16. That time they tried to time the pass. They end up getting the turnover, and Jacob is fouled while leaping up for the ball. So Totino-Grace dials up the pressure, and they get the stop they were looking for. Could we see a repeat of a year ago? We shall see. Zephyrs led by as much as 16. Schmidt drives, no good. Jacob is there on the backside. A late foul is called. And Totino-Grace sensing a comeback opportunity. Foul on Centers is second, and the foul bug now afflicting Mahtomedi after Totino struggled with it in the first half, but a lot of that has to do with the hustle play of Totino-Grace. Floatmeyer with his first trip to the line. Keith Newman will call a timeout. The Zephyrs trail by 14 just a couple minutes ago. The lead is now 6. A lot of that has to do with the hustle of Totino-Grace. They're attacking the rim. They're going after the rebounds with a little more assertiveness. And they are getting the benefit when it comes to foul calls. So Mahtomedi having to weather some adversity again in the semifinal round. And Floatmeyer knocks down the second one, so the ice the shooter strategy didn't do much. Totino-Grace 18 of 18, and this is where all those points come into effect. Centers. Mahtomedi could have used that three. Totino-Grace can make it a one-possession game here. Another instant classic perhaps in our hands. Jacob gets around Centers. Three on the way. No good, and that will be an over-the-back foul on Floatmeyer. So Floatmeyer hit with his third personal. Namunde will come back in. But I think you can safely say that Totino-Grace has worked their way back in this. Centers, out to Chapman, kick out. Nothing there, so a reset. High, low, Chapman left alone. He can't get it to fall. Picks up his own miss, and he's called for an offensive foul. Swung his arms a little too violently. He's hit with his second. More importantly, Mahtomedi out of fouls to give. So Totino-Grace, from here on out, will go to the line for the remainder of the game. And if you want to complete a comeback, getting free throws can be quite helpful. And Charlie Jacob will look to do just that.
Call the Zephyrs over 10, Zach Centers. Third personal, team 7. Charlie Jacob, 1-1 for the Eagles.
Non-shooting fouls, so 1-1 here for Jacob. He still has yet to miss. 13 of 13. And it's now a one-possession game. Hadley tried to draw contact, scores anyway. And Mahtomedi gets a badly needed basket. The Krieger sees a lane and gets the roll. Timeout to Totino-Grace. Interesting call here, as they've been the team on the surge, but it's a back and forth game, and Totino-Grace, the team that refuses to quit, they played a boatload of high-quality competition this year. They make it a one-possession game after trailing by as much as 16. Mahtomedi had a solid showing in the Metro East this year, picking up some quality wins, including a big one over St. Thomas Academy in the first meeting of the year. Totino-Grace in the Northwest Suburban. So you go up against the likes of Park Center, who's had a strong year, Osseo perennial. They played Minneapolis North at the Community Clash. They played Hopkins on Martin Luther King Day. So the Eagles, again, their record a little deceiving because of the strength of their opponents. Charlie Jacob, 13 of 13. I can't recall someone that accurate from the free throw line. He's currently out shooting Mahtomedi. The Zephyrs 12 of 14 as a whole. And we haven't heard much of Jack Shea since he opened the second half with a basket. Totino staying with them because they know if he gets enough space, he can blow by you. They're going to make the other Zephyr players step up, and that will be a foul on Mischke. He made too much contact with Zach Centers. And Tyler Kittleson will sub in. That's the second personal on Mischke. The Eagles still have 3 to give with 11:18 left. Inbound, eventually picked up by Hadley. Lero fakes the 3. Can't get the bounce. Tried to draw the contact. We've been seeing both teams drive to the rim in hopes of getting a foul call. 3, that would have tied it. Munde missed everything. Totino on the run. Hadley with the slam. A potentially key sequence. But Jacob not going to give up And neither is Krieger. Through traffic, no good. Hadley collects the board. What a move! Jack Shea couldn't get past this defender, threw it up anyway, and he got the friendly bounce. It's been his kind of night. He's up to 23. And the Zephyrs getting a little more separation. Mischke for three. That three-pointer still not working for the Eagles. And the Zephyrs have a chance to extend the lead. High low, and a blocking foul is called on Namunde. Devin Melzer to the line. He was 2 of 2.
Second personal, team 4. Devin Melzer with 2 for the Zephyrs.
Front end goes in and out. Flottmeyer and Schmidt return to the floor for the Eagles. Melzer gets the back end. So he's 3 of 4. But the Zephyrs do extend their lead. It's now 8. Jacob falls, and Totino-Grace tried to thread the needle through traffic. And Flottmeyer couldn't stay in bounds. Mahtomedi crowding the paint, hoping to neutralize the inside presence and limit the number of free throws they concede, considering how Jacob's been doing. Lero blocked. Schmidt, open, got it.
Will Schmidt. To the Eagles.
A delay of game was called on Totino-Grace. As you know, if you score, you cannot touch the basketball. The second delay of game will be a non-bench technical. Totino-Grace gets the strip. Schmidt got his way inside, poked his way in there. He'll fire the three. Bullseye! What about Schmidt, folks? It's a three-point game again. Lero, pump faked. Hadley was looking for the entry pass. He finds Shea, and Jack Shea was hacked by Schmidt. That's just the second on Will Schmidt, but free throws coming for the senior.
Jack Shea with 2 for the Zephyrs.
A lot of senior leaders on display tonight, determined not to let their basketball career come to an end. Jack Shea missing the front end, and the Zephyrs now starting to leave a couple of points at the line. Shea blanks. .805 to go. Totino-Grace calls timeout after Mahtomedi almost forcing the steal there. The Eagles with 2 remaining, 7:55 left. You got to be smart here. And Will Schmidt stepping up in a big way in the second half. And Charlie Jacob, his production can't be discounted either. Mr. Automatic at the free throw line, 13 of 13. For Mahtomedi, Jack Shea, only 4 points in the second half. One of them, a friendly bounce. Totino-Grace doing a better job keeping him at bay. Winner will get the winner of our second semifinal. Jacob goes up, swish. Jacob's been using the fake to perfection, even though he only has 3 field goals. It's a 1-point game. Lero almost walked. He was fortunate that it went off a Totino player. Well, just like a year ago, it's going to be another photo finish, it appears, after Mahtomedi got off to a strong start. And then another sloppy turnover. Lero with the steal back. Lindquist, that will be a foul. Lindquist has yet to miss at the line. Both teams out of fouls to give now. That's the third on Kittleson, so free throws could play a factor in the finish of this one. Another miss. Mahtomedi leaving a lot of points at the line here in the second half. Lindquist gets the back end. They were 12 of 14 in the first half, 2 of 6 in the second. But they put up a strong move down low, and Nick Flotmeyer gets the steal back. Snuck up from behind. Jacob with the take. Totino-Grace, they've had several chances to tie or take the lead. They've been unable to do so. It can be so difficult to do. And the larger the deficit, the more energy you expend. But I don't think either side is going to relax too quickly here. Krieger will go in. Now, Krieger had a solid first half, and Shea walked. Totino-Grace still in this. Again, they've been nipping at Mahtomedi. They have yet to tie or take the lead in the second half. Here's the lead. That goes in and out. Almost went in for Will Schmidt. Mahtomedi fans holding their breath momentarily. And that will be a foul. Nick Flotmeyer barrels into Lero, and it will be 1-1. Flotmeyer hit with his 4th. As we said, free throws are going to be crucial. Lero, this is his first trip to the line. He drains both, and that will make the Mahtomedi fans breathe a little easier. It's a 2-possession game again. Three on the way. That doesn't go in. Again, Totino-Grace unable to convert from 3-point range. Just 3 triples overall. Centers missed one. That could have been huge. And if Totino is unable to complete the comeback, The struggles from three-point range will be a big reason why. Backdoor, a foul was called. And even though Kittleson drew the foul, that's a play, if you're a Totino-Grace fan, you feel you have to have. Kittleson had an opening on the backside. Jacob hooked him up, and Kittleson couldn't complete the play. But he shoots two more. Lero hit with his third foul. As we noted, both teams in the penalty. Kittleson makes both. Totino-Grace, 22 of 22. And that has helped compensate for the lack of three-point field goals. They go after the ball. Their hustle play results in a steal. Again, same situation. And they tie it up. Will Schmidt, the trailer, after Jacob missed initially. And for the first time in this half, Totino-Grace has gotten the tie. They almost got the steal. Flottmeyer couldn't react in time. It's been said that from the semifinal round on, nothing comes easy. But Zach Centers makes that three-pointer look easy. A big bucket if you're the Zephyrs, as you try to hang on. Jack Shea got them off to a rocketing start. And that's what you can't do. Zach Centers hit with a foul. That's his fourth. It will be 1-1 for Nick Flottmeyer, who has 6 points. And it's still a one-possession game, but with the lower-seeded team trying to get the comeback, you'll take any foul you can get. Stops the clock, gives you a chance to score, and gives you a moment to collect yourself. I'm going to have to look into the record books after this one. 24 of 24. I haven't seen a figure like that in a long time, if at all. But Lero's going to shoot free throws after Jacob was hit for the foul, just his second. You see Totino-Grace playing more aggressively on defense, trying to get some stops, force a turnover, get a steal, but the downside to that, you run a higher risk of being called for fouls. So Lero will shoot a pair. Presuming he made the first one, and he does. And Lero goes up to 10. In the regular season, Lero averaged 10.2 points and 5.7 rebounds a game, 2.8 assists. Misses the back end. Mahtomedi 17 of 24. That will be a walk. Braden Mishke took a bunny hop, didn't get himself set in time, and that's what you cannot afford if you're Totino-Grace. But Totino-Grace edging them at the line, 24 of 24 to 17 of 24. That 7-point difference is why we have a close one here. Again, just like a year ago. Lero, this could be a dagger, and it falls! As Bill Raftery would say, how about those onions? Jacob, no good. Rebound Shea, and he's hacked. The foul is a third on Jacob. Still 1-1 here for the Zephyrs. After this, both teams will be in the double bonus. Even though these two teams don't see each other much, They've produced quite the rivalry just from their thrilling playoff battles. But Shea missed the front end of a 1-1, and the Eagles still have a lifeline. What a drive! Will Schmidt, defenders all over him. He goes baseline anyway. Will Schmidt up to 19. And Schmidt's done it the hard way. Jacobs, he's just been piling up free throws. And speaking of Jacob, he times a steal and scores. Jacob with the steal and the run out. It's a 1-point game again. Jacob up to 21. Lero, the skip over to Melzer. Back out to Lindquist. Mahtomedi. They can play patient here. Lero feeling it. Bullseye! Lero with 12 points in the second half. 3 triples. That will be an offensive foul on Kittleson as he sends Shea to the floor. That's his 4th. Team control, so no free throws awarded. But another big stop for the Zephyrs, who seem to have an answer every time Totino-Grace threatens for the upset. Lindquist surveying the field. Entry pass. Zach Centers the beneficiary. 73-67 with 2:10 to go. Jacob. He was fouled. And 2 free throws the rest of the way. More importantly, it stops the clock for the Eagles. It's the 3rd on Hadley. But Charlie Jacob can shoot free throws with the clock stopped. Jacob with 21. That's the first miss. So Totino-Grace hit their first 25 in a row before missing. 5-point game. Here's the problem. Mahtomedi up by 5. You're in that zone where you can play keep away. So Totino's going to have to get after it, try to get a steal. Mishti with the deflection, but you need more than that. Timeout, Mahtomedi. 1:39 to go. Both teams in the double bonus, and both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. But again, Mahtomedi in control here. They don't have to do anything. They can let Totino play the foul and chase game. And as we noted, 3-pointers, if Mahtomedi does hang on to win, will be the difference. They didn't hit a ton, but Carmonga Lero hit 3 of them. 12 points in the second half. He's a lefty who can hit open shots, and he has demonstrated just that. Every time Totino-Grace was in position for that upset run, Lero was there with an answer from 3-point range. Mahtomedi, I should say, they do have the possession arrow if it does come to a tie-up. Foul is called, and Lindquist will shoot free throws. Eric Krieger with his 3rd personal foul. Lindquist has been shaky. He splits, makes it a 6-point game, but time the bigger enemy here for Totino-Grace. They almost cough it up there. That could have done it. Missing the floater was Flopmeyer, and it will stay with Mahtomedi, and that should do it. Barring something weird here in the final minute 16. Mahtomedi centers, was looking, and Newman will call a timeout to make sure centers doesn't commit a traveling violation or turnover of some sort. But with 1:07 left, yeah, it's not quite over for Totino-Grace, but it's almost there. So 1:07 on the clock. And it looks like Mahtomedi is going to hang on. In that big first half from Jack Shea where he had no equal inside, that will be a difference. Carmongalero stepping up from three-point range in the second half for Totino-Grace. Charlie Jacob, great performance from him, 14 of 15 from the free throw line, accounting for most of his 22 points. But Totino struggled to hit their threes, and every time they were able to get a tie or make it one possession. Foul before the shot, but it won't matter. 2 free throws coming anyway. Mahtomedi had a response. The third personal on Schmidt, but Hadley can just about wrap it up here. Or will he? No, he leaves it blank, so the Eagles still in this, but not by much. Jacob trying to get open for 3, cannot. 55.6 on the clock. If Mahtomedi does advance, they'll want to look at the free throw shooting. Tremendous in the first half, not so hot in the second. Krieger for 3. Got it! Timeout to Totino-Grace. I believe both have 1 left. Full timeout here, but here's the situation. 49 seconds left. Mahtomedi still has the arrow, so a jump ball does you no good, as the Columbia Heights and Fridley fans await to take their place for the second semifinal. Everyone checking out the finish of this one. Mahtomedi led by as much as 16. Totino-Grace rally back to tie it at 61. But some big buckets by Carmongalero have kept Mahtomedi in front. Now Totino-Grace, if you don't get the steal, you're going to have to foul right away. At least that's what I would consider here. 51 seconds. That triple from Krieger gives him 14. That's just his second of the game. So Totino-Grace, again, if they hit a couple more threes, maybe a different story. The ebb and flow of long-distance shooting, that's what can happen. Ball is loose, and it's picked up. Jacob, yes! We're tied at 74. Those misses by Hadley now magnified, but Mahtomedi can still win it. 30 seconds. And remember, both teams in the double bonus, so a foul gives you 2 free throws automatically. The first three-pointer for Jacob, he's up to 25. Mahtomedi, I expect him to hold for 1 more shot. Keith Newman will call a timeout. Last timeout for the Zephyrs. So we may be on the precipice of overtime. Mahtomedi out of timeouts now. They do still have the arrow, so if there is a tie-up, they have that assurance. The question is, who will step up? Lero, his sweet spot has been the left wing. He's knocked down some key threes for you. Jack Shea had a strong first half, finding it difficult to get open in the second. Lindquist has been knocking down some free throws for you. 11.2, a lot of time. Ideally, Mahtomedi would like to get a shot up with a few seconds left to give themselves time for a putback. 5 seconds. Lero throws it away! And Totino will call a timeout. Their last 2.7. Hang on to your hats, folks.
Checking back in Zephyrs.
Columbia Heights kids.
Now, as you know, in high school and college, I believe they changed it in college, but in high school you cannot advance the ball on a timeout. So Totino will have to go the length of the floor. 2.7 seconds, so gives you enough time for a drive and a potential game-winning score. Charlie Jacob knocked down a three-pointer, and we know he's been clutch all year for the Eagles. Will Schmidt has chipped in nicely as well. He's had a strong second half. Eric Krieger hit a three-pointer to make it a three-point game. Eagles have options. 2.7 seconds from a potential upset or overtime. Steal! Lindquist for the win! No! And we're going to overtime.
That is the end of the second half. Your score, the Eagles of Totino-Grace 74, Mahtomedi and Zephyrs 74. That means one thing here tonight, free basketball with overtime. 4-minute overtime. Kurt, you designed this one. You got the winner advances to the Section 4 3A championship game this Thursday.
I guess it's fitting that we have an ending like this where both teams turn it over on potential game-winning plays. Lindquist, he read it well, and remember, it was Lindquist who got a steal and a couple of points at the line to end the first half. He got himself a wide open look. Came up short. 4 minutes. As you know, fouls carry over. Both teams get an additional timeout, so both will have one. And both teams in the double bonus, so we're going to have to keep an eye on the foul situation here. A lot of players with 4. Tip goes to the Eagles. Totino-Grace trailed by as much as 16, pass deflected, and ends up in the hands of Hadley. Hadley missed 2 free throws that would have sealed it with 1:06 to go. It's a rare occurrence, but it does happen. And then Krieger and Jacob hit 2 3-pointers to tie this up. Lero, no good. Rebound will go to Totino-Grace. Give credit to Flottmeyer. He was getting in there, trying to poke the ball away and simply out-muscled his way for the board. Jacob, backdoor, and Totino-Grace takes their first lead in the second half or overtime. Will Schmidt, the beneficiary. Man, oh man, oh man. It was Mahtomedi who eked out a win a year ago in regulation. Hadley goes up, banks it off the glass. Gusto, athleticism, all of those factors come into play now. 76 all. Jacob goes for it, cannot get the answer. Lero with the board. He'll go up and score! Carmoga Lero. Clutch when Mahtomedi needs him most. But we still have a long way to go. 78-76. Mischke out to Jacob. You know he'll be looking. This is off to Krieger. Bullseye! The Eagles retake the lead, 79-78. Remember, Totino, they played a boatload of top-tier opponents in 2A, 3A, 4A, you name it. Hadley kicks out. Lindquist cannot get the bounce, and the rebound goes to Krieger. Jacob. And a foul is called. 1 minute to go. Krieger will shoot free throws. It's on Lindquist, his third.
Eric Krieger with 2 for the Eagles.
Krieger cannot make this a 2-possession game, even if he makes both. He was 2 for 2 his first time up. Again, he's been doing it the hard way compared to Jacob, who just hit a bunch of free throws. And he misses the back end, so Mahtomedi can tie or take the lead here. They still have options. Lindquist. Count it! Krieger hit with his fourth, but more importantly, Lindquist can give Mahtomedi the lead with the free throw. And he does. Mahtomedi 19 of 30, but that's a big one. .38 seconds. Schmidt, double team, needs help. And Totino-Grace has to use their timeout there. Krieger had nowhere to go. 32.6, 81-80. Now the Zephyrs still have the arrow if we have a jump ball, and look at all the fans lining up along the concourse here at Washington. Most of them are waiting to take their place for the second semifinal. Not much to say here. Totino-Grace, they got to find a way to score, and we've seen Krieger hit some big buckets. Charlie Jacob, we know he's a powerful scorer. Eagles out of timeouts, and a foul is called. But you send a player who has not seen a lot of offensive action in Braden Mischke. Zach Centers will foul out. He'll finish with 7 points. Braden Mischke averages 6.2. He has not scored here. Melzer will go in. So Centers is done, regardless of what happens. That's probably not what you wanted if you're Mahtomedi. Mischke ties it up. And Totino-Grace will call a timeout, or Mahtomedi, I should say, will use their timeout. Maybe another ice the shooter strategy, 31.8. Totino-Grace, well, I've got a fan asking me, 26 of 28. And you know what? We've got a couple of minutes, so I'm going to pull up my calculator. Totino-Grace, 92.8 from the line. Mahtomedi, based on my numbers, 19 of 30, 63%. It's amazing. I should just use my calculator more often. I could do a lot of analysis that way. Yeah, maybe one of you guys, I guess, depending on what happens on Thursday. One of these folks, I know. Well, I'm among the Mahtomedi fans, and they're curious about that, and that is one difference. Although it's been back and forth, and in a game like this, there are a lot of factors that tilt the game in one way versus another. You know, Lero hit all those threes in the second half. Jack Shea had that big first half. So Mischke will go to the line to complete a second one. If he makes it, Totino takes the lead. If not, Mahtomedi will have a chance. Well, they'll have a chance anyway. Totino now 27 of 30, so that will bump them down to 90. No timeouts, though, for the Zephyrs. It's going to be up to the players to execute. No timeouts for either side. Melzer, entry pass. Hadley has to retrieve it, 9 seconds. Looking to go baseline, tries to draw the foul, no bounce, rebound, put back, no time left for the Eagles. Mischke, no! Hadley, the game winner! Mahtomedi moving on, 83-81. Javon Hadley stayed with it, and he's the hero for the Zephyrs. He finishes with 14, 4 Zephyrs in double digits. Shea with 23, Lero with 18, and Timmy Lindquist with 13. But how about Hadley? The initial entry pass was deflected. He had to go back, went baseline, and put it in for the game winner. Mahtomedi survives once again to the section final, just like a year ago, against this gritty Totino-Grace team. Charlie Jacob finishes with 25. His career's over. Will Schmidt finishes with 21. His career is also over. Eric Krieger with 18. He's a junior, so he'll be coming back to do some more big things for the Eagles. But it's the Zephyrs moving on to the section final, 83-81. What a finish. We've got another game coming your way. We hope it's just as exciting. This is high school boys basketball. Congratulations to Mahtomedi for winning the 4AAA section semifinal, 83-81. I'm Mike Peden. Stay tuned for semifinal number 2.